Welcome to the next episode of Szybciej i Celniej, aka Faster and More Accurate in English, right? Last time we had Quique Kim. For this reason, we held it in English. Before, it's usually held in Polish, but again, we are forced to make it in English because we have another guest, foreign guest, this time also from America, but Latino America, South America. This is a top class shooter, Enrique Quique Larrañaga.
Yes, it was good. Hello.
Pronunciation?
Yes, it was close. It was close.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I trained a little bit, but still a little bit to do. Okay, Quique, this will be the easiest way to name you. And also you said everybody calls you by this name. This is a shortcut for Enrique, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, Quique, we are supposed to talk about two things today. First of all, we would like to talk about the classic division. So is it the sexiest division in IPSC or is it not? And what is your opinion about that? And also we are supposed to talk about your visit to Poland, right? Because you are going to visit Poland in 2 weeks. But before we go to these two subjects, I would like you to tell us a little bit more about yourself, because you are from a faraway country. You are from Uruguay, so this is South America. I assume that many shooters from South America do not recognize Polish or European shooters so much. And I also assume that many European or Polish shooters do not really know much about the shooters from South America. So please tell us more about yourself and about IPSC in Uruguay.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Enrique Larrañaga. I'm 29 years old and I am from Uruguay, as you said. It's like 12,000 kilometers from Poland, so it's like really far away.
Yes.
But I mean, we love IPSC. I assume as the same as you guys, so that's why we are here talking today. I started shooting when I was 18 years old. My father introduced me to IPSC shooting. Actually, I started shooting with guns when I was like 10 years old with my father. And at 18 years old, he introduced me to IPSC shooting, and it was like a love at first sight. Like I got hooked by it and started competing.
Okay.
For the first few years, I was not like competing on a regular basis, but after 2017, that I went to study in Canada, when I came back to Uruguay, my father had a surprise for me. Previously I was shooting in production division, but when I arrived from Canada, he had a 1911 gun for me, and he gave it to me and told me, "You are going to be the next Latin American champion." This one was 2017, and the next Latin American championship was in 2019. So I had like 1 year and a half to learn what a 1911 gun was, actually.
Yes.
But I mean, I started shooting classic division at that time, and I like it. I think it's a really awesome division.
Okay, but because I checked on your Instagram that you are actually the master, the champion of Uruguay in classic right now, and also in of Argentina, the international Argentinian, or
I won the Argentina national championship in 2018. It was like the last time I shot it there. I won it, and then I have been winning the national championship in Uruguay for the last, I think, 6 or 7 years. Like the year I started shooting, I didn't win it, and all the other years, yes. Like IPSC here in Uruguay, it's not big because I mean we are just like 3 million people here. We are a small country.
How many shooters do you have in your region?
Currently, we are around like 90 in the whole country.
90.
And 90, yes, just like 90.
Okay.
And when we make matches, we have like only 1 or 2 matches per month, and they are around like 50 to 60 shooters. So I mean, we need to travel. Like we always try to go to Argentina, to go to Brazil, Paraguay, like at least move a little bit to have like bigger and better competitions.
Tell me if we are talking about Latin America, because I recognize a couple of top shooters from Argentina, German Ramitelli or Herman. I'm not pretty sure.
Herman Ramitelli is a top shooter for sure.
Yes, exactly. Also, Quinti Valerga.
Gaston Quinti Valerga is also top shooter.
Yes, I also met him at the Corinth European Championship. Was lucky to have a picture with him.
Yes, he's
also some other shooters from Argentina. And for me, for a European, I would guess Argentinian are the perhaps the country that has the most of the shooters in IPSC in Latin America. Is it a good guess or not really?
No, really, it's okay. So you forget one top shooter from Argentina. That's like it's a young promise. He's Juan Pablo Duran. Juanpi, he was the
production shooter.
Yes, production. He was the junior European champion last year, and he's a nice guy too. But as a level of shooters, I think Argentina has the best currently. We mentioned the three, like Gaston, Herman, and Juanpi. They are like top shooters. But if you speak about quantity of shooters, Brazil is way bigger than Argentina.
Okay.
Brazil is crazy. Like 2 weeks ago, I went to Sao Paulo in Brazil, and I shot a match that had more than 700 competitors.
Wow. Wow.
Like, it was an IPSC level 3 match with more than 700, and they had to leave people out because it was full. Like they did like 4 main matches, and they couldn't accommodate more people. Like Brazil is huge. I would really recommend. I would really recommend everyone going to shoot a match in Brazil, because like the matches are awesome and the shooters are really nice people. It's awesome. It's a really good experience.
Okay. And also I've heard that in Brazil they still have, or not really anymore, but it was introduced the standard optics just to see how it's going to work.
Yes, they tried last year. They had the division like as a test, but after the General Assembly in the European, it was ruled out. So at least it's a pity, because I think it's going to be like a fun division if they ever make it.
Yes. I actually shoot production optics. This is why I'm interested, because standard optics also be something interesting for me. Okay. Anyway, so we talked a little bit about South America. Brazil is, you are saying, the perhaps the biggest, for sure the biggest, and perhaps the best to visit for European shooters if traveling to South America.
Yes, I think you should try going there. Yes. Argentina is easier to get, like in the country with your guns and gun permits and everything. It's easier. Brazil is a little bit more complicated, but they are sorting things out. So now it's not so difficult. I mean, I went there last year twice, and I went this year again, and I'm planning on going again this year there. So it's good. I would recommend it for sure.
And tell me, do you see many shooters from outside South America, or not really? Because you are a huge continent, you don't really need so many shooters outside, but perhaps there are many coming to you.
No, what is crazy is that like we are so far from everywhere, and like flights are so expensive. Like if you want to come from Europe, like to South America, it's really expensive compared to what you are used to paying for flights inside Europe.
Okay.
So we don't have like shooters from other countries. It's really weird to have someone from outside South America shooting here. It's really weird.
Okay. Okay, but as we know, Bartek is going to visit you someday, right? So he will be one of those few European shooters to
No,
go.
wait. For the Latin American Championship, we are expecting like shooters from all over the world.
Yeah,
Like
but this is this is a level 4 match, so there is always a lot of shooters outside. So this is not I'm asking about. I'm asking about level 3 matches, for example.
Oh no, for level 3 matches, it's really weird.
Yeah,
I mean, it's bad because I always love to have like competition from all over the world, but not in South America. It's difficult.
Okay, so let's proceed to these two subjects we are supposed to talk about. First of all, classic division. You mentioned that you shot the production first. How many years in production before you changed to classic?
I spent like 1 year and a half.
Okay, so it was actually because you are right now, as far as I remember, you mentioned it was 11 years right now in IPSC.
Yes. No, less. Like competing on a regular basis, it's 8 years.
Yeah, but first time in IPSC, 11 years.
11 years, yes.
Yes, okay. And this first 3 years was 1 year and a half in production, and then after that already to classic, or how was it?
No, so when I was 18 years old, I started in standard division, but without training. Like I would just go with my father to shoot like a match. Like he was shooting open, and he gave me his standard gun, and I shot standard. That was without zero training. So then, when I was like 3 years later, I started like training a little bit and started in production.
Okay.
Especially because like in Uruguay, it's also like the biggest one, you know, and it's easier. Like the gun is cheaper and it's easier.
Production. You are talking about that production is the biggest one in Uruguay.
Yes.
But I would guess that it is globally the biggest, right? Because it is usually so that people start with production guns. At least
it's like the gun everyone has is like for production.
Yeah. You buy a Glock 17 or CZ Shadow 2, and then you go just proceed. Yeah. What was your gun in production?
I started with a CZ Shadow, like the first one.
The first one. Okay.
Like SP1, I think it was like the.
Okay. And then you moved to Canada for a couple of months for something, and when you came back, your father gave you the first 1911.
Yes, it was like the first 1911 I saw in my life. Like I never shot before with one.
Okay. And did you fall in love immediately with that gun, or not really?
I think I fall in love with the idea. Like, okay, so we are going to train, we are going to put effort and try to win. And it was appealing for me, and it worked. Like it was a good idea. I went to Argentina, had like some good matches there shooting classic, won the national Argentinian championship, and just kept shooting classic.
Okay. So the question was: is classic the sexiest or not? The least sexy division in IPSC? And why I ask such a question? Because I guess that when you ask people that are new to IPSC, but not completely fresh, but after 1 year of shooting, and you would ask them how many divisions there are in IPSC, they would say probably 4, like standard, open, production, and this production optics. But there are more, we know. Perhaps one would say additionally PCC, but PCC, we know that we don't like it. So of course,
no.
But classic. There is. When I first learned about classic, it was that the only difference between classic and standard is that classic has less ammo inside, and that's all. But I don't think it's the only real difference. It's a huge simplification. If you can tell me what are the differences from the technical point of view first, and then we will talk about how to shoot classic properly.
Okay, so the gun need to fit like in the same box. You have like a few restrictions, like the ammo is not just less ammo, it's also like a mono linear magazine, and the magwell should be is like with some restrictions of the size. But for me, like the biggest difference is that it changed all your strategies. You know, it's like a different game shooting classic.
Yeah.
It is the only. I mean, the gun is really similar because most of the people shoot standard with a 2011, and it's like the same platform almost as the 1911. But the divisions are different. I think the approach you should have is different.
But tell me, because we know that in standard there is it's a difference between standard and production, that in standard you can have a minor and major way of gaining points on the course of fire. The difference in major is that you get not 3 points for Charlie, but 4 points for Charlie, and 2 points for Delta instead of 1 point for Delta.
Yes.
Yes, and could you tell us how it looks like in the classic? Because there is also a possibility to shoot major.
Yes,
right?
you have the same possibility of shooting major or minor, but you also have like the same advantage or disadvantage, you know? Like in standard, if you shoot minor, you can put way more rounds than if you are shooting major, and you can do the same in classic.
Can you tell how many? Because not everybody probably knows.
For standard, it's limited on the size of the magazine. So standard minor gun, you will go around like 22 rounds, more or less, you know, and when you're shooting major, you will go like 17, 18, more or less. But like classic, you have the same. You can shoot minor or major, but there it's like a fixed amount of rounds you can use, you know. If you are shooting classic minor, you can put only 10 rounds. And I mean, you can start, if you are in condition 1, you have 1 in the chamber and 10 in the mag. So it will be like 10 plus 1.
Yeah.
And when you are shooting major, you are just like 8 plus 1.
Yeah. So nine.
Yes. So when you think about like the percentual difference, I mean, it's less than in standard. But the problem is that that small gap between like 8, 9 to 11, it's make a lot of difference during the course of fire, like the stages. Especially because more like you have a lot of positions, you know, where you're shooting like 8, 9 rounds.
Yes.
So when you are approaching it in major, it makes like you have to use like different briefings, like strategies.
Yes.
So in my personal opinion, just like opinion, is that classic you need to shoot it in minor. Like I will shoot it always in minor. On the other hand, my personal opinion is that standard you should shoot it in major. You know?
Yes. I actually noticed that when I looked at the results of the classic division, like in European Championship, for example, I didn't really notice anybody in shooting 40. So the caliber that is an equivalent of major ammunition for the standard or classic division. Most of the guys shot minor, right? So this is exactly what you say. But funny thing is that because the shortest, so to say, standard shortest course of fire is 12 shots, right? We have sometimes shorter courses, but it's rather an exception than something that happens usually. So still, each and every time you need to change the mag at least once.
Yes, that's crazy because on the other hand, like for example, the longest ones are like 32 rounds.
Yes.
And like if you are an open shooter, maybe like in a whole match, you are going to make like 2, 3 reloads.
Yes.
When we as classic shooters, we are going to make at least 1 per stage.
Yes.
So I think reloading, you're like not only the speed, like how fast you can reload, also like how reliable is your reloading. is going to be a major factor in shooting classic, like something we need to train a lot.
So you really need to dry fire a lot, right? The max exchanges.
Honestly, I don't dry fire, but I know like I should do it. It's something I am doing. I need to dry fire, but I don't do it right now.
Yeah. This is something that a lot of shooters have problems with. But yes, this is actually an important part of this game. Okay, and so we talked about this max exchange. How many max you have on your belt?
Okay, so if I'm shooting like a long course, like 32 rounds, I like to have at least 6 mags, like 6 or 7. It depends, like 1 in the gun and 6 in the belt, or 5 and 1. But if I'm shooting like 12 rounds, I won't put more than like 4.
Okay,
I think
you don't want to have too much on you while having a shorter course, because there is no need to have more load on yourself, right?
Yes, I mean just like a few extra just in case if anything happens, but like 7 magazines for 12 rounds, it's crazy.
Yeah. Also, you can use magwells like in standard and not like in production where you're not allowed to use them, right? So you shot production a little bit. Do you see the difference between exchanges of production and with magwell in classic?
I think it balanced a little bit, because when you are shooting production, like the magazine is bigger, you know, it's like thicker. So also like the hole, like in the where you put the magazine, it's also like bigger. So it's kind of easier. But on the other hand, like in classic with the magwell, it gets like a little bit easier too. So I think it balanced out a little bit, but it's nice having the magwell, especially after you get used to it.
Okay. And do you like to make such things like Bartek sometimes is doing? He did that just a week ago or two on a level 3 match. He started with his classic gun in standard because he's allowed to. It's okay to do this, but you're somehow having more problems than other guys in standard. Also, those shooting major, because they can have more rounds. And still he won.
Well, it's fun that you ask me this, because I mean I have been shooting standard a lot in Uruguay with my classic gun, especially in level 3 matches that we have only 1 per year. That if classic doesn't have like 10 shooters, so no president medal, I will just go to standard and shoot like standard with my gun. But it's fun you ask me this now, because just yesterday we decided with some friends from Brazil that and a friend from Argentina, that we are going to Paraguay to shoot a level 3 match. And because classic, we are only 7 shooters, we are going all to shoot standard.
Okay.
Like the 4 of us decided like, okay, let's go for the president medal and let's shoot standard division. I mean, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, you need to make sure that Gaston is not going to be there, because
Gaston is shooting production now. So yes, he switched to production, but he's not going to Paraguay, no.
Okay. I also saw him shooting production optics sometimes.
Yes, I mean, he likes like shooting a little bit with all of them, but I think he's focusing on production now.
Okay, good. So do you see any more things that perhaps I do not see myself? Why? Because you said that the strategy is much more complicated, perhaps, because you need to plan. You said that there are so many spots you need to shoot like 8, 9 shots from one place, and then you need to change the position. And this, as we know in IPSC, when you do the exchange while standing in one place, it is a favor. You're not going to do this unless you don't want to have a good position or result afterwards. It's a fuck up. Yeah, it's basically a fuck up. So you need to plan so that you shoot and have this at least 1 or 2 steps when you can make the exchange. So can you tell me how it looks like? Like, do you see a huge difference between all the other shooters while planning the stage, or how is it going?
No, yes, I think like the stage planning for classic, it's like pretty unique. Because, for example, like last week when I was in Sao Paulo, we had a few spots when you have like 10 shots from one position, you know? So I was approaching those positions like, okay, slow down a little bit, secure the shots because you don't have extra shots.
Yes.
As you said, if I run out of ammo and I need to make a reload standing, it's like, okay, I already fucked up. It's really bad. So in those spots, I had to secure, like aim and confirm the sights and shoot like more, a little bit slower, but secure.
You need to be much more strong in mental part of the game, so that you do not miss the metal, for example, in this moment.
I was going there. I think one of the biggest difference with classic are the extra shots.
Yes.
You know, like when you make extra shots, sometimes you lose time. Sometimes you are shooting so fast that it balance. But when you are shooting classic, probably you don't have the opportunity to balance because there is not enough ammo. So you need to secure your shots. Like don't shoot extra shots to poppers or plates. It makes a big difference. I saw it in the European Championship. I was like taking a lot of extra shots, and Bartosz was like 1 shot, 1 plate, 1 shot, 1 popper. It was like, fuck you.
Yeah, he is a very efficient guy in this matter.
Yes.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Okay, when we talk about Bartosz, we can already mention that you met.
For 1 second.
Yes.
Because you started this topic asking like if classic was the sexiest or the least sexy division for me.
Yeah.
And my answer would be, as a strategy point of view, I think it's the best, like the most fun, because you will need to think and you are going to need to make a lot of mag changes and everything. But I think for the videos and like for the people watching it, like a division like open, for example, it's more appealing, you know? Like if you're watching someone shoot, he's going to shoot like really fast and like make the stage more like with more flow. But I really like classic. I really like the challenge and the need to think the strategy, then like be careful, and I like the challenge.
And you need to be really accurate, not only on metals, but also all the alphas on the normal targets. Yes. Minor. While shooting minor, it is very important, right? To shoot only alphas, like 90%.
Yes, at least.
Okay, so getting to Bartek, because this is also why we are talking right now, because Bartek invited you to come to visit Poland, right? You met him at the European Championship.
Last year.
Yes, last year you became friends, I assume, and he told you to come over to Poland. Why you accepted this insane idea?
Okay, so we were in the same squad during the European Championship, and I mean, like the match was like 4 days shooting. So maybe the first day was like, hey, hello guys, how are you? Because it was like the whole Polish classic team.
Yes.
But like on the second day, on the third day, we were like just like sharing advice and strategy for the stages. And I mean, it was awesome seeing him shoot. Like he shoots like a really top level. I was trying to learn and take some things from there to improve my shooting as well. And at the end of the match, he won. He had like an awesome match, and he's the European champion now. And he invited me and my father, because I went with my father to Greece. He invited us to have dinner and to celebrate like his championship. And I mean, it was awesome. We went out with a lot of like a big group of Polish guys. we had a lot of fun. We had some sipuro, that's like a drink from traditional Greek drink.
Yes.
And then, like, he invited me. He told me, like, you should come to Poland. You should come here, shoot some matches. We can train. And I was like, I can't refuse to that. I mean, it's like the opportunity of knowing a new country, hanging out with Bartosz, that is a really cool guy, and probably like learning and improving my shooting. So it was like, I just needed the permission from my wife, and it was like, hey, honey, let's go to Poland to shoot and have fun.
But you already know where is it, the Polish soil.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
joking, because we are not the main country in Europe to visit. You know, like usually.
I went to Europe, I think 3 or 4 times, but I never been to Poland before.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
I checked it in Google Maps, so now I know where I'm going. No.
I can only tell you that Juansik really enjoyed Poland. So I think that you're going to do this as well.
No, I hope so, but I think it will be like that for sure.
Okay, and tell us more. You're going to visit probably Wrocław, the Polish city where Bartek lives. You're going to have a couple of trainings there, and then some shooting some matches, right?
Yes, on Thursday we are going to shoot a match. I think it's like 100 kilometers from Wrocław. I don't know the pronunciation, sorry. And in Spanish it's Bratislava. It's easier for me.
Yeah, it's Bratislava?
Bratislava.
No? Bratislava?
Breslavia,
perhaps, yes, because Breslau is the also German pronunciation of this city. It used to be for many years also the German city, so it has the Breslau as a name. Perhaps easier for pronunciation.
You should cut that part because it's Breslavia, yes, in Spanish. So we are going to
Wrocław. Come on, it's not that hard. Wrocław to say.
Wrocław?
Wrocław.
Yeah. You can say my last name. It's easy. It's
I'm joking. Yeah, you're lucky enough that you're not going to Częstochowa, for example.
Częstochowa.
Yes.
That's more
okay.
difficult.
Never mind. Let's get back to the topic. So a couple of trainings, and then one match, 100 kilometers from Wrocław, and then another one.
16 stations there, and then on Friday he's traveling with a friend to Balaton in Hungary, and I'm traveling with my wife, and we are going to shoot the Balaton Cup there. It's Saturday and Sunday. I think it's like 24 stations. So it's going to be an awesome match. And then I will like spend like 2 weeks traveling around with my wife. I think we are going to Austria, Italy, France. I think we are just holidays.
Yeah. That you will have a lot of funny and very nice places to visit. Also, you should consider perhaps going to Croatia, for example, or Serbia, or the Balkans.
I went to Croatia a few years ago, and it's beautiful. I loved Croatia. Like the beach there, it's crazy.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so it sounds like a lot of fun that will be waiting for you in Poland. That is good to hear. I hope that more and more shooters will come and visit us. Juansik, for example, told us that the level 3 match he attended to with us, it was outdoor match. This is not only the name that it's kept outdoor, but it's really the name of the match, spelled with A in the front. He said that the quality of the stages was so high that he would even say that it was perhaps
he compared with the nationals.
Yes, that's what he said. So well, it is a good. I think it it is a good recommendation.
Yes, for sure. He spoke about how well balanced were like the hit factors of the stages, and I hope to see that too, because I think it makes IPSC way more fun when you have like balance hit factors are not all like small hit factors or just like big hit factors, high and low, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, I see that I have some problems with the internet connection right now. I hope it's gonna be still good enough, but we are already talking for 35 minutes, so I think we used our time for this this podcast.
Okay.
Thank you so much for this nice conversation. If we right now we think that classic.
Yes, I'm here. Like your picture, it's frozen, but I'm here.
So you've just witnessed what happens when you don't pay your bills for the internet on time. But right now I'm stealing my neighbor's internet so I can upload this video as the end of the conversation with Quique. Anyway, it was about to be the end for the whole conversation anyways, so I would like to thank you, all of you, for listening. If you would like to leave a comment, please do so. I will for sure answer on that. Perhaps an idea of another subject for a future conversation with Quique, if you want another one. And also, if you feel that the content is interesting, please leave a subscribe. Thanks.